Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to NEO Scavenger. Remember last time I actually got slaughtered by two dogmen on the bounce, killing one, and then I got killed by the other. So I've decided to start again, and I've actually played the game a lot off camera to try and get slightly better at it. And I've learned that it's kind of all luck. There's a lot of random chance thrown into NEO Scavenger, but I'll try my best to get along with the storyline, and I do know a tiny bit more. So I've done the usual, spawned at the cryo facility, got the dogman coat, a bit of meat and a few shards of glass, and what I'm going to do quickly is actually make a spear and a fire just to cook this meat. So let's just go to the crafting menu, and let's get our trapping skill, I think it is. Get a little fire on the go. Very fucking Ray Mears, Bear Grylls without the piss drinking. Shit, I've took the wrong thing out there. So do that, confirm there, get that up there, and where's that chunk of meat gone? There it is. So we'll cook that up first, and then we will get this going with, I believe it's shards we need, which are there. It's got a sharpened spear, and then I just need to end my turn, get some more moves to craft with, and yeah, we should be okay, should be good to go. So I need that, my melee skill, and I also need my shards as well, and we've got a hardened spear. So I've got a weapon and a bit of food, which is decent. Not a bad start, not a bad, like, opening 10 minutes or whatnot. I'll have to leave the shards there. So let's keep going. Yeah, I've read all this before, thank you. And I'm going to actually head north. I believe there's a place called Zom Zoms, or Tom Toms, even though they're drums off a drum kit. Tom Toms. And I believe that is maybe pivotal towards the storyline as well, where you can get some free stuff. I should have read that, but it was basically saying there's a familiar noise. So I think that might be Zom Zoms. We'll just scavenge around first, see what we can get, if anything. Okay, we've got a med kit, a water pan, major score, major score. So let's take that, certainly, and this. What have we got in there? I wonder if I can put my meat in the first aid kit. Yes, I can. Not like my actual meat, you know, because that's pretty fucking weird. Just putting your dick inside a first aid kit. Yeah, whatever works for you. Whatever works. Let's just see what else we can get. I could really do with a lighter just for safety purposes. Got a bottle on the floor there. Might as well take that. And I'm also going to take another shopping bag as well. And let's head in to this place here, which looks completely different to all the other buildings. So, as the source of the distant sounds finally comes into view, you stop in your tracks, unsure whether it's safe to continue. Ahead you see a titanic warehouse like one of those distribution centres from before the apocalypse. There is a dull roar of ethanol generators combined with the occasional rev of unsuppressed exhaust from off-road vehicles. Figures seem to be milling around a low extension to the right, and the occasional ATV arrives and departs without fanfare. You don't think you've been spotted yet this far out, though with all the activity it's hard to tell. Right, let's go in, or approach it. You cautiously approach the warehouse, noting a bright sign reading Zom Zom's a place to eat. Right, I hope this isn't like cannibals and stuff, because I know that's generally where stuff turns. I know there is random meat on this and you can eat human meat and get some kind of disease. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. The sign hangs over a giant garage door, which is fenced off behind a tarp and barbed wire. Barbecue wire, just like really crusty and black. Bright lights, welding arcs, and peculiar shadows can be seen in the fenced area, and a din of rowdy chatter echoes from within the building. A semi-trailer attached to one of the loading bays acts as a makeshift gate and a pedway into the warehouse. Ragged-looking figures line up alongside the trailer, watched over by armed mercenaries. It looks like more of a club than anything else, except for that tarp area. Right, so I don't know if that's that bit, like kind of here on the left, the green part, but I don't know. Just then your stomach sinks when you realise there's a truck on the other side, offloading prisoners or slaves of some sort. Biting back panic, you reason that your showing fear will mark you as a target and try not to break your stride. Mercifully, no one seems to care. Do you know what, I'm going to go in because I'm not a slave, am I? I'm just going in the queue by the looks of things. While in line, you feel a flutter of anxiety each time the line advances. With each step, you try to catch a glance of what's through the doorway in the trailer, but you still can't tell. Most of the people in line are ragtag looking, wearing mismatched clothes and stinking of sweat. I don't know how, I mean, like the outdoor temperature is really bad, so they must have really good clothes. Some confused, others bored. The guards are better groomed by comparison. They used to expect they just... Sorry, I need to... A bit of wind there. Excuse me. They'd expect they'd just as soon murder you for your clothes if they weren't being paid. Up a few unplugged steps, you step inside the semi-trailer, and hollow sounds of a crowd echo down the narrow corridor from the warehouse. To the right is a clipboard, is it? Chipboard and mesh booth. Chipboard, not clipboard. Just like a little booth, just solely made out of clipboards. Like Stationery World or some shit. Staples. Yeah, Staples. Sorry. To the right is a chipboard and mesh booth where an attendant is collecting fees and weapons and stamping people before they walk down the trailer into the warehouse. Stock or spectator, the attendant drones, looking disinterestedly past you. Okay, I don't think it was stock. And I don't know what spectator entails, if I have to pay or do I have to give something over. Let's go, huh. Never mind, she exhales, stomping your hand with a symbol and number, and nods another grisly... Fuck's sake. A lot of reading, guys, a lot of reading. And nods to another grisly merc who checks you for your weapons. You received a chit for your confiscated items and are ushered down the trailer. You hear the man behind you answer spectator to the attendant before passing into a wall of sound inside the warehouse proper. Okay, I hope this... like, doesn't kill me, because he's just said spectator and I just said huh, and I've got like a symbol and a number stamped on my hand, so this could be pretty bad stuff indeed. Inside, it's 1 part super club, 1 part gladiator pit. A wall of sound assaults your ears as you cross the threshold. Part human cacophony, I can't even fucking say that word, that's worrying. Cacophony. Part generator exhaust, mostly frenetic industrial music and the smell of food and smoke. You can't hear it over the noise, but you can feel your stomach rumble at the smell of sweet barbecue. See, that could be human meat, like them slaves, whatever they are. Like, people are paying to go into here. So God knows what that is. The cavernous warehouse is dominated by a dirt-floored arena with high mesh walls. Spectators ring the pit on 3 sides. The 4th reserved for a large garage door leading outside to the tarp fenced courtyard. Beyond the door, you catch the flash of welding arcs, where it appears scrapyard robots are being prepped. Right, okay, this took a turn for the weird. And opposite the garage door, the thing you really care about right now, a wide booth with grills spewing sweet and spicy smoke into the rafters above. People clamour to get at it and walk away with their prize smeared over hands and lips alike. Barbecue. Barbecue. You wade through dirty patrons intent on manhandling some ribs or beans and rice or whatever. They've got... Oh yeah, fucking hell, I thought there was a full stop there. Sorry guys, you can't like start a sentence with is, can you really? Well, not when it's a statement anyway. They've got cooking over there. Who knows how long you've got and how long you've been in cryo, how long it's been since you've had a hot meal. I don't know actually how long. I keep forgetting the fact we've actually been in a cryo chamber. I know that's obviously the start of the story, but it just seems to be a bit of a skip now because I've died that many times. Pressing your way through this final wall of hungry patrons, you get an elbow on the counter and desperately try to make eye contact with one of the servers. A few eternal minutes later, one of the apron-clad food slingers glances at you and you nod like an excited dog. He reaches into a smoker box, withdraws a loaded skewer and places it in your hand. Sweet, succulent barbecue. Savouring it at first, you start to grow paranoid that it'll be snatched from your hands, and you bear down on it with renewed fervour. Huddling with it against your lips as you absently walk away from the grill. I mean, you know, he's just quoted that he's like an excited dog. He could actually be eating dog meat there. This meat, it's like good, fully developed veal. Not young, but not yet beef. It's blatantly human. Yes, very definitely like that. And not like any other meat you've tasted. In fact, so much so that you think no person with a palate of ordinary, normal sensitiveness could distinguish it from veal. It is mild, good meat, with no other sharply defined or highly characteristic taste, such as, for instance, goat, high game, and pork have. I don't know what human tastes like. I mean, I've never personally tried human. I've tried kangaroo, it's pretty good, and I've tried snake, no pun intended. And, you know, pretty good. Venison's good. There's some good meats out there if you're a meat eater. If you're not, fine. But, you know, shop around. Some decent stuff. Go to an exotic butcher. I'm sure they will have what you want. Not like I'm in some union of butchers trying to drum up business. The steak is slightly together than prime veal. A little stringy, but not too tough or stringy to be agreeably edible. The roast is tender and in colour, texture, smell as well as taste. Strengthens your certainty that all the meats you habitually know, veal is the one you wish. Actually comparable, right, okay. I don't think it's veal. I mean, it's not veal. Just then, an announcer pipes up with that same oscillating voice every strip club DJ seems to have. He starts hyping the crowd. Can you count suckers? He shouts. That's a Warriors reference. I don't know if anyone's seen The Warriors, but that's a massive Warriors reference. Good film. Patrons start yelling back. I said, can you count suckers? On cue, a testosterone-fueled wave of shouts come from the floor. No women, or women on testosterone, evidently. Raise those numbers, he calls with expectation, and everyone raises their fists in unison. The music changes, lights switch to UV, and numbers appear on the stamped hands. Your heart starts to race as you realise what's happening. Right, maybe they're picking someone for the pit or the barbecue. Really don't know. Looking around, everyone has a stamp, but most of them don't look like yours. Everyone has numbers, but it's clear now what the symbols are. Most patrons have silhouettes of vultures next to their numbers. You look down at your hand. Yours is a lamb. The announcer calls your number a low number. Calls a number rather, a low number. You feel a bit nauseous, but also relieved. You raise your hand. Nearby patrons looking suddenly, then quickly losing interest in it. I'm like making up words that I'm reading. A scream of protest erupts from the far side of the arena. Everyone nearby looks across, where a commotion is starting. A man is hoisted into the air like a crowd surfer at a concert and propelled into the arena gate. Oh, right, okay. So this guy's going to get fucked up. Patrons claw the remainder of his barbecue from his flailing hands, fighting over it like dogs. Guards wrangle the struggling man and toss him onto the dirt floor in the arena as the gate is sealed behind him. The winner, in inverted commas, is a filthy, weak and confused looking human as he clambers to his feet, and clacking and squawking sound crescendos from the opposite side of the arena. Cheers start erupting throughout the warehouse as the source of the noise rolls into the arena through the garage door. I mean, the fact that it mentions like human, is there other stuff that isn't human? I know obviously there's not going to be like a dog man there just eating barbecue, but it's a bit strange. Bit strange indeed. The bot is a little more than heavy treaded ring of barbed spikes. A haphazardly hung LED ticker sits up atop its mast, flickering the words Morning Star, confirming suspicion as to its nature. Right, so this is obviously like a gladiatorial pit, obviously, as it said before, where they're throwing humans in. Maybe you do actually get in for free, and maybe you just get picked. Maybe, I don't know, that's it. You get a barbecue, but there is a chance that you might get like chucked into a fucking concrete circle with a big robot. Without pausing, the bot starts closing in on the human, who to his credit has given up rattling the gate and is now facing the more immediate danger. He starts circling left, leaving the bot to one side of the pit, and then dashes rather, for fuck's sake, I do apologise, it's just like a lot of reading today, as fast as he can, bypassing the bot. The move buys him a few seconds as the boss spins in place on its treads, but he ends up in the same situation on the reverse side of the arena. This continues for a few laps, with the human visibly wearing down. Perhaps realising his error, he switches tactics and leads the robot towards a support column and allows it to get close before ducking around behind it. The bot starts turning in place, but the tread gets hooked on the pillar. For a moment it appears to be stuck. You can sense the tingle of hope in the man as he watches the bot rock to and fro for several seconds. Good move, you know, it's like a game of chess. Don't know if anyone's ever had a fight with a robot in a cannibal barbecue, but you know, that'd certainly be my advice. However, the bot's rocking eventually frees it, and it turns to face him again. Crestfallen, the man returns to the original strategy of dodging the robot like a bullfighter, ever more slowly each pass. It doesn't take long for the robot to wear down its already weakened prey, and it scores its first hit. Trampling his leg under treads, the man's cry of pain is lost in a wave of cheering from the crowd as the robot backs up. The man hardly has time to limp before it rams him again, this time following through and impaling him against the wall. Right, this is fucking graphic, like. Drunk with bloodlust, the crowd is now screaming as the robot backs away once more from the stumbling, bleeding man. The bot rams him into the wall one more time and backs away. This time the human's stuck on its spikes. Jesus Christ. The crowd cries out in ecstasy, which eventually simmers down to a rabble as the arena service personnel remove the entrails. Your mouth agape, you suddenly feel a wave of nausea. You begin looking around, panicked. Okay, so we can rub off the stamp, we can try to leave, or we can see what happens next. Let's see what happens next. Unsure what to do next, you look around the room anxiously, waiting for something to happen. Word is, you've got a medical plan. The voice startles you. Even amidst the shouting crowd, and you turn to find a young man with an old face. He looks to be of Asian descent, with hair like a mop, big aviator glasses, and an improbably white fur coat. Okay, this is weird. I don't know how this fella knows I've got a medical plan. Like, that's very strange. Very strange indeed. Relax, I don't work here. In fact, I'm going to try to make sure you don't either. Come on. He turns and heads toward the garage door, since that way's from the arena. Wait there, fucking hell. Since that's away from the arena's human-sized gate, you decide to follow. You get the sense that he's a patron to, or at least not with the management or neither guard nor patron seems to pay him much attention. A little bird told me he shouts over the crowd of music. You might know a thing or two about cryogenics. He talks over his shoulder as he walks, as if tossing words your way. I know a guy looking for some heavy-duty cooling units. He may be willing... He may be willing to trade for some information where I could score a few. You arrive at the massive garage door, and the cool air seems tinged with ozone. His name's the Stoat. Come on, dude, I'll introduce you. Okay, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't know. I could be getting led to my death here. That's the beauty of this game. Like, you can die within 2 minutes. If the game wants you to, you can just die. Out in the robot prep yard, mechanics are attending to their creations. Your companion stoops alongside a tall robot reminiscent of a farm combine. You shudder to think what it does to a human with those blades, but then something inside moves. Crawling out the feeder house behind the blades is a mechanic who looks around and satisfied waves another out. The second looks more like one of the patrons than a mechanic, starved and scared. The pair skulk along the fence line and disappear out of sight. Fur coat guy turns back to you with a proud yet devious grin on his face. The Stoat is pleased to make your acquaintance. Now about that medical plan, he suggestively taps his wrist. Okay, so what can I do? Give him the bracelet about that trade, or just give him the info? Well, let's have a look at this trade. About that trade. Oosh, a counter offer, Stoat says, stroking his chin. Okay, tell you what, he snaps into action. I got a thing, someplace that needs certain items liberated. He makes quick air quotes. You trade the bracelet, I'll let you in on the haul. Here's what's up. Camp Grayling, you ever heard of it, right? Big old military base somewhere in Michigan? Right, no. Guess you're in around certain circles. He flicks something invisible from his coat. All sorts of rumours about the place. The one thing is a piece of full tech and no one to tinker with it. Meanwhile, he knocks at the combine bot, producing a hollow ring. Sucks right. Your part is simple. He places a hand on your shoulder. Maybe you've seen a bot around here. Tall, tin fellow, 6 legs, mauling some guy. That's the one. Well, wherever he came from, there's got to be more. And if I'm doing this with farm machinery, imagine what I could do with old Spidey maulers. He pantomimes an explosion while puffing up his cheeks. But Stoat waves a finger of nothing. I don't expect you to pilot these babies out of there. What I need you to do is get inside the base and bring back around everything you can find on them. Schematics, blueprints, test data. The more the better. Be warned, it's a death machine. Pest. What the fuck? You think these are brutal? Stoat gestures around the prep yard. Drunk, angry teenagers compared to these trained assassins. In return, he says, scratching his chin, I'm thinking the power structure will be shifting a bit round here, and the new one will owe you a variety. He points to his chest. So, deal of a lifetime, dude. Nah, fuck off, you know? Nah. The look and manner you've been getting used to fades into disinterest. Oh well, he says, bummer though. Guess I'll be a millionaire all on my own. Exits that way. Going along the fence is your best bet, like the other two did. He thumbs towards the fence where the patron and mechanic escaped. He passes a glance over your shoulder, and you want all your stuff right. A familiar face walks up and drops a large drop box with your checked items. Warning you though, if you do end up seeing Grayling, you're going to kick yourself, he says as he makes his way to the warehouse. Right, I apologise for my incredibly stuttered reading. I'm quite tired today. That was really strange. Right, let's just get my stuff out the lockbox. Oh shit, why did I just take the lockbox? That doesn't really make any sense. Let's just empty that out. Okay, there we go. And we're now out of Zom Zom, so that was a really weird experience. Talking about a place called Camp Grayling. I'm not too sure what that is. Really don't know what that is. Oh, we found some more stuff. Very nice. What else have we got? Handful. Small parts. Yeah, in fact, small parts. Let's get some crafting on the go. Let's get some lockpicks while I'm here. Camp Grayling. So I take it that's actually full of whatever the hell them things were that he had tearing people up, which is probably more worrying than anything. I don't think I'm going to go there the way I am. I could have accepted his offer, but I could always find out where it is and make my way up there. Let's just have a look at this map. Alright, you can locate Detroit. Right, okay, so that should be shown on the mini-map now. Okay, that's fine. Don't need to look at that map. Okay, so alright, it was just north of Kaiser's Cryo Facility, and there's Detroit Mega City down there. So I think what I'm going to do is actually leave the episode here. Quite a bit of information to digest, and we'll have to try and look for this Camp Grayling place. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon.